Australia is shifting away from its zero COVID strategy. As vaccination rates rise, it is now aiming to live with the virus instead of eliminating it. Victoria says it will be able to ease virus curbs once 70% of the state's population has received at least one vaccine dose. The aim is to reach this milestone towards the end of this month. Until then, a harsh lockdown has been extended. New cases have jumped to 120, the biggest daily spike this year. The majority spend time in the community while infectious.
We are in for a difficult time, a challenging time, over these coming weeks. This is very, very tough, but it is simply not possible to make wholesale changes, to have a freedom day, if you like, or an opening up day in metropolitan Melbourne in the next few weeks. That is going to require us to hit our vaccination targets, because that's what gives us the protection against infection, and most importantly, it gives us the protection against hospitalisation.
At the same time, New South Wales has brought forward its target date to fully vaccinate 70% of its population. It aims to achieve that by the middle of next month, instead of the end of October. Danielle Robertson joins us from Sydney. Danielle, why have authorities decided to scrap the COVID zero strategy?
Yeah, well, the states with the highest number of COVID cases have realised that the COVID zero strategy simply is unattainable, leading to this dramatic shift in policy. Victoria is now in its 6th lockdown. Sydney is about to enter its 11th week of strict stay-at-home orders, and with zero nowhere in sight, that is what has led to this new thinking that we need to live with the virus as long as vaccination rates are high. The national government is pushing all states and territories to stick to the reopening target that once 70 to 80% of the population is fully vaccinated, that's when we can start to reopen. And that is now starting to look attainable. It does seem that authorities have now realised this is the only way forward for the country. It does seem that restaurants and outdoor ticketed events will be some of the first things that fully vaccinated people will be able to achieve. And these hints of incentives have meant that people are more willing to get vaccinated, and many people are rolling up their sleeves. So these incentives and advantages could be used as early as next month in New South Wales if vaccination rates continue and we continue with this strategy of now having to live with the virus.
Is there also increasing pressure to reopen borders by the end of the year?
Yeah, that's right. Families together by Christmas is really what many people are hoping for. The strict border rules here have kept people apart for more than a year and a half. Grandparents haven't met their grandkids. People have been separated. They haven't been able to grieve together. And as Australia watches other parts of the world open up, including in Singapore, there is a lot of pressure on the government here to open international borders by the end of the year. And there are plans to do so. The federal government says once we reach that 80% vaccination target, that international borders can open, and that home quarantine will be an option for returning overseas travellers. Australian Airlines are already making plans for December. And while this does sound promising, it may be a different story internally, though, where some states are saying that they are adamant they won't allow others in if their daily COVID case numbers are high, despite vaccination rates. That means that people in New South Wales, for example, who have a target of 80% and will allow people overseas, people here may be able to travel internationally before they can travel interstate.
Danielle Robertson is in Sydney. Thank you for that.